Bazur's plot. Chapter 59, Feeling Like It's a Doomsday. Tara did not take the lead, but arranged us to walk in a new order. The difference was now that the two of the Moorbears were walking in front and two at the back. If someone were walking toward us in the trail, they would not see others behind Moorbears easily. They were basically blocking the visibility for any creatures coming toward us. Myriads were right after Moorbears with three barracks walking slowly beside them. Tara was walking just behind them, and Tora, who wore the cape already, so actually nobody could not half of the time say where he even was. And then was Jack and I. Varnok had taken Sylvester and Eloven to his back so that they would not need to walk, and Tim was riding the black barrack, who was to protect them. To get familiar how to stay on without hindering the beautiful black cat's movement. Tom was walking beside Varnok. It was thankfully an uneventful walk to the village, and we found no cursed ones. The tension was clear. Everyone was afraid and kept looking around. I just wanted to meet Bazur and not do this, but I understood well that every awakened creature was worth saving, and so I needed to deal with this feeling like it is doomsday. The village called Whisper Willow was very shortly in front of us, just like Tora had explained. The village was the village was the first and only village close to the water here. After this, we would go toward west, where Bazur's cottage is expected to be. The village looked whimsical and lovely, just very deserted. I looked at Jack on my left. We had at some point changed our sides, and I was doing the right side now, and Jack was on the left. I was looking at him to see if he went left, and I took the houses on the right. And he seemed to understand since he nodded and had started to walk toward the left already. I turned and went to the right. We were scanning the houses, but it seemed quite empty, and so did behind the houses as well. We were first arriving about halfway of the village. I was first to arrive about halfway of the village. And between the houses, there was like a little wider area, like a clearing or such. And I was drawn to there instead than going to the next house I had lined up. The pile was something definitely alive. Cursed ones. I waved to Jack when he was coming out of the house, and he did also join me staring the pile. It looked like someone had just dropped a pile of rocks or something into the village center, and they were on top of each other in all sizes. Others came around. Tara asked, "All of that is cursed ones?" Jack nodded and said, "Yes, all of them. We have maybe 50 or so creatures here," everyone sighed. It was not super great to get so many now, but what can you do? It was just the pressure and the doomsday feeling that was getting the better of us, all of us. Jack and I started to uncurse them, and others moved the awakened ones a little bit to the side so they would not be on top of each other, and gave them a remedy to be awakened. Tara said, "Capritors," and just like that, one appeared among us. They were always so fast and non-visible. Tora nodded toward the pile. "Yes, we have about 50. So we need help scouting back to the boats." I was thinking of sending 2 more bears at the time, so we will have security here all the time. The Capritor who had appeared said, "I will ask scouting backwards to be with you as well when you are going forward. So I will get a message from the others if Bazur is magic traveling here. So far we have heard noises still from his cottage. We don't have visual, but his army is getting the formation. So we expect he will be coming out today from his cottage to find Eirik. Tara nodded. Thank you for the message. Now we will get these transports moving so we can get them to safety place and safely to the palace. One of the barracks said, 2 of us will also go to do transport to the boats. That will help to take them down. Tora smiled to Barak gratefully. No words were really needed at this point. Everyone worked in silence or mumbling something once in a while. There were super small baby creatures, children, elder ones, and everything in between. The 6-foot village was the only one in the south. Tara explained that many different creatures lived here. So it was like whole village had been rounded up in the middle of the village and then cursed. It seemed like the pile did not get smaller at all. But when I looked behind, there were only a few creatures there. The transport was clearly working smoothly. Medical elves did give remedies to help the process. Myriads helped the awakened ones to the Morbear's back or Barak's backs. And Tara and Tora rode with them to the boat, and they were back in no time. And they swapped the Morbear's so they would not get too tired. Finally, there was one more little bit bigger rock left, and I started to awaken it. It was again different looking creature. This one was hurt though. It was clearly having a deep cut, which was still bloody. A couple of awakened ones tried to come help him, and they seemed also very concerned. Medical elves came to try to stop the bleeding and gave many remedies for the creature to keep him alive. This was very serious. While they were doing that, Tara arranged 2 of the bigger creatures that were awakened to take care of him during the transport and gave them a remedy bottle that should help him to stay alive until the palace, where there were better medical care available. I had again not seen a creature like this. It looked something of a mix of a human and a bird, like an eagle maybe. Anyway, as always, all creatures here are so beautiful in Myria. Hopefully he will make it. Unfortunately, we could not concentrate on anything but Bazur today. I said to Jack, others are packing the transports, so let's scan the rest of the village quickly to know if we have anyone else here. Jack nodded. I saw one of the barracks following me and another one following Jack. Tara had probably asked them to be right behind us. That was good. That made me feel way more safe here. Nobody else was cursed here, thankfully. Jack and I saw that others had made their way to the end of the village and were eating while walking. They also handed us food, and Capricorns were popping in rotation to pick up their food. It was those sandwiches again, but they were still very much delicious to eat. Tara stopped and turned to talk. It is time that we go to meet Bazur. The last pair of Capricorns just came and went and told me that the Bazur is now on the move. So this is it. We pair up, and then as we have agreed, we go to meet him. Everyone looked nervous and scared, depending on the creature, except Eirik. He looked very calm and collected and said, "Good. I really want to get my hands on my grandson. Sorry, Thrain, for me saying this, but your son is rotten apple." Thrain nodded. It's true. Everyone shuffled to their pairs or groups, and everyone climbed to their to be able to ride a given partner. Once shuffling was completed, Tara continued. I have never been close to the Bazur's cottage, but Capricorns reported it's about 10 minutes of their speed in the west, into the west at the coast. So obviously we are not riding on Capricorn speed now. So in this formation, unless we must. So I would say in about 20 minutes away, my heart jumped to the throat. So close. I forgot to breathe for a while. I looked quickly around, sitting on Garnock's back while my invisible cape was on, holding onto his neck. And I was just hoped that we would all make it so that nobody would get injured so seriously that they would die. Or worse, has Bazur learned some curse that would kill straight away? Nobody knew that. So we were riding into the unknown, Dora asked. One more thing. Can we ride on you with Tara? He asked Stonehide and Garnock. We want to be with Tara on foot. So we are fast and not needing to use words, but we would prefer to ride closer. We could ride behind Jack and Sarah and then drop when it suits us. Garnock and Stonehouse both nodded, and Garnock said, jump aboard. That was today's chapter. So what will happen tomorrow? Come here to find out. Back to the channel. Bye for now.